Gambrell in the end, he filled in a couple times and was even a guest one night with the Rockwood Lady Tigers.
Oh, yeah, always a good time up here. Glad to come up here again.
It's always eventful when Gambrell comes up here, too. You know, right. You never know what's going to happen when he leaves, or it's always eventful. I'll say that, Sleepy. I'll say that. We'll have to talk about it off air. What's been going on in the world?
Well, just there's a lot going on in the sports world for sure. And first, I'll talk a little bit about the Kingston boys and girls golf team. I know the Kingston boys won state championship. And
girls had a heck of a run too. I think I gave you some of the stats, but I'm gonna go over that. Mike Neal and Landon Harden, head coach, co-head coach, whatever you want to say, for the Yellow Jackets, had an outstanding year. I'm going to go over some stats for them to start things off. The boys finished up with a record of 51-7-2, and they won the state championship. So it's not a golden ball, but you know, maybe they want to get one of those big Happy Gilmore checks and bring it back to, you know, Lakeside Golf Course.
I believe they were runner-up last year, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. They were runner-up. Great team. I think that team finished obviously behind them this year. So and they don't lose but Colby Johnson off the boys team. So they have a lot of those good golfers coming back for next season. So I know they'll be excited to have that. And the girls just continue to build. So just an outstanding job by the Yellow Jackets golf team.
Who was the runner-up? Was it Signal Mountain?
Yeah, I think Signal Mountain won it last year. Right. I could be wrong. But the boys, it's their third state title in the program's history in golf. Kingston's fourth state title in sports. There was only 4 classifications in golf: single A, double A, and public, single A, double A, and private. All state selections for that were Blake Woody at junior and Colby Johnson as senior. Briley Krause on the girls team, as well as Kaylee Lane, also made the all-state team. Both programs only lose one senior, so you know they're going to be back. I know Gambrell loves golf, so he's going to keep an ear to the ground on this, and he might even make some guest appearance out there.
No
Johnny
chance.
Knoxville style.
No chance.
So shout out to the Jackets.
Do you ever get him out on the links?
No.
No.
He'd be chasing the cart girl all day.
He just drives the cart.
Yeah, he just drives the cart.
But yeah, Kingston, we've had the boys in the last couple of years, Coach Neal and Coach Harden, and he brought in one of his ladies last year. I believe it was Kaylee Lane, came in last year. And she made the state, and you know, this year I think it was the first trip for the girls, Kingston girls, to the state golf tournament, and the boys just an outstanding program. Anyway, you mentioned their third state tournament, third state championship, and
golf school. Golf
school, yeah.
That's what they say.
Right, yeah. But Kingston's got it going on a lot in different sports. I know the soccer team is still undefeated.
Soccer team played in the district championship tomorrow night, the Lady Jackets, out at Southwest Point. This week's BBB game of the week at Nat Sugarman. Gambrell shaking your head.
Unbelievable. It's
turned into a Kingston hour.
Yeah, Kingston's dominating high school sports scene.
We need them to call in tonight and let us, you know.
Well, we had quite a few calls last week when they had the girls' soccer team in, and a few of them were prank calls. And
well, you know.
One of them was one of my co-hosts' number.
Interesting.
So
can't screen them all, Sleepy.
Right, it's hard to screen them, but we always get a lot of calls. Kingston, we had the football team in about 3 weeks ago. They were undefeated, and had a lot of calls that night. And as you mentioned, the Kingston and Signal Mountain Friday night, the OEB Law Game of the Week here on Channel 12. So
I know.
That's a big game in the region. I was reading Coach Pankey and get the Yellow Jackets. You know, they win this game, they'll at least be second. Set up a showdown with Loudon the last game of the season, and I saw where if they do win tomorrow, they get to host a playoff game the first time in 20 years.
You talk about a ruckus in Kingston if they get to host a playoff game. I'm going to have to come back and start painting the fields. What do you think about that? Get Gambrell down there.
No chance.
We got our first call already lighting up. Let's go ahead and take it. Go ahead, caller. You're on the locker room chat.
Yes, sir. Mr. Clem, can I ask you a question and see if you know anything about it?
Sure.
I know Rockwood in football beat Oneida, but Oneida's ahead as far as the points. As far as the season wins. But Rockwood didn't play on account of something, and I was just wondering is Rockwood going to pull ahead of Oneida or not?
Well, me and Gambrell were just talking about that. We've got our region standings up right now. Gambrell, tell them what Rockwood has to do to secure that second spot, and more importantly, a home game.
So to secure a home game, they need a Monterey victory this week. Monterey and Oneida play this week. Rockwood wins out, they'll be playing at home in the first round. If Oneida wins, that's going to boost them up above Rockwood potentially. Rockwood would still kind of have a chance to control their way out, but we've got to win out either way. So
we need to pull for Monterey on Friday, and then Rockwood needs to win out the remainder of the season, which is a possibility.
then it would be a three-way tie, and then you start getting into yeah. So the overall record at this point is kind of an issue. Just because Monterey and Oneida have had more wins. So the last thing that Rockwood needs is a three-way tie at the end.
We can't have Uncle COVID disturbing any more of our games.
Yeah,
No.
Monterey goes to Oneida. Monterey's coming off a bye week, I believe, and I think they'll be favored at Oneida. Rockwood went in there.
I think they should win that game. I think Rockwood should easily win Friday. So as long as they do what they're supposed to do, I think Rockwood's got a good chance to host a home game in the first round.
Any more questions, caller?
Yes, sir. Who does Rockwood play this week?
They play at Wartburg on Friday.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Have a good night.
Wartburg picked up their first win of the season. They went up to Jellicoe and won.
Yeah, on homecoming, ruined homecoming for them.
Yeah, you got to watch them Bulldogs. They're sneaky.
Packed house up at Jellicoe.
And I was reading about Jellicoe. They got a chance to win 6 games, I think, first time since 2007, and maybe even get to host a playoff game. They've never won a playoff game. So got a third-year coach up there. I believe his name's Bills at Jellicoe, and he's really turned the program around.
Good shout out to Jellicoe. 865-483-8112. Phone lines wide open. Sleepy, give us some knowledge. Let's keep it going.
Okay, I just like to recognize those Kingston golfers. The first on the boys, call out their name here. You got a freshman, Caden Gurney. I know you mentioned some of them, but sophomore, William Bacon. Sophomore, Parker Jones. Junior, Will Meduski. Junior, Blake Moody. And senior, Kobe Johnson. So give those kids some recognition. Also on the girls' side, the Kingston girls finished third in the state, as we mentioned, and their first trip to the state tournament, I believe. And a couple of sophomores, Briley Krause and Kaylee Lane, and seniors, Ashlyn Atkins and Megan Settles. So congratulations to them and Coach Neal and Coach Harden. And
they were excited to bring the trophy back to Lakeside and back to Kingston. So that's a proud community, and I know they're excited for them.
I know you told me earlier this is Kingston's 4th state championship.
And third in golf. So I think they got 3 in golf, 1 in
Yeah,
football.
yeah, 73 Yellow Jackets. So congratulations to Kingston. Also like to look at some other sports in the area going on right now. You got the girls soccer. They're in their district tournament. And you also have girls volleyball. They're in the region. And last night some scores in girls soccer, as we was talking about Kingston. They remain undefeated. They are now 13-0-2, and they defeated Scott High last night 9-2. And as I mentioned, I had those girls on last week, and they've got three girls on that team. I'd say they're all in double figures in goals.
Got to be when you're putting people down 9-2.
Yeah.
Coach Emily, make sure I get it right. No, it's Ellen Daly, Coach Ellen Daly of Kingston, doing a real good job. I believe it's her 7th year. She came in when Coach Pankey came in. And
Yes, Miss Daly's an outstanding woman and a coach. So just as good as a coach she is, she's an even better woman. I got to work with her when I was with Park and Recreation, and always wonderful to work with. Right, Gambrell?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Some other games in that District 5 AA where District Kingston is. Anderson County got a scare from Clinton last night. They defeated the Lady Dragons 1-0. So Anderson County now 10-3-2 on the season. They will go on and play Kingston, I believe, tomorrow night.
What's wrong? At Southwest Point.
At Southwest Point, and the district championship. I actually went and saw that game, and Clinton, they lost to Anderson County early in the season, I think 7-0, and last night they gave them a scare. Sarah Burton was the goalie for Clinton, and I know she had to have at least over 20 saves probably, and they just couldn't get very many shots on goal, but they gave the Lady Mavericks a run for the money. So congratulations to Coach Susan Stout there at Clinton. Lady Dragons now 9-7, finished the year in soccer. Some other soccer scores for teams in our area. Oliver Springs, they were eliminated last night by Cumberland Gap, 9-0, right? 9-0.
Shout out Coach Kegley.
And Cumberland Gap, 15-3. I think they won the district last year and got a good soccer program. Also in that district, Gambrell, your Lady Tigers went down to Oneida 3-0.
They did. Tremendous year for Rockwood, a winning season this year, and it's been a while since we've had much success in girls soccer, but the girls put in the effort this year. Coach Benny did a tremendous job with them. Couldn't be happier with the progress they've made this year, and there's a lot of young players on that team who they'll have coming back next year, so looking forward to it.
Shout out Coach Benny.
Rockwood ends the season at 7-5, so winning season for the Lady Tigers. And looking at District 3 AAA, the Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats were eliminated by West 7-0. Oak Ridge girls 5-8-2 this year. That's they usually have a really good soccer program, and this year the record does not reflect that, but
Next year.
always next year. But also in the same in the district, Powell 3-0 over Central. Powell looks like the team to beat, 10-2-1. Looking down into the other bracket, where Bearden and Maryville will meet for the District 4A AAA championship. Bearden's undefeated, 15-0-1. Maryville upset Farragut last night.
That's big time soccer up there.
That is.
Yeah.
Big time. West Knoxville.
That's right.
Bearden and Farragut usually battle it out, but Maryville upset the Admirals last night on their home field. So Bearden and Maryville will play for the championship. And also another team in District 4 AA, Gibbs, is also undefeated. They're 16-0, and they will play Halls tomorrow night. So congratulations to those teams. Also looking over at the volleyball, girls volleyball in Region 2A, the Harriman Lady Blue Devils made it to the championship game, so they're still alive, but they lost last night 3-0 in match play in volleyball. Chattanooga School of Arts and Sciences, 3-0. You know anything about the Harriman Lady Blue Devils this year, Gambrell?
I know they have a lot of their basketball players, and if they're as athletic in volleyball as they are basketball, then I'm sure they're pretty darn good.
Hey, volleyball picking up in Roane County and surrounding counties. I know it's probably always been there for a lot of these bigger schools, but volleyball picking up. Stock up, volleyball.
Anderson County won the Region 2 AA championship last night. So congratulations to Coach Jamie Smith and her Lady Mavericks. They swept Gibbs and Northview Academy last night, winning 3-0. Didn't lose a match or a game. So they'll be hosting Tennessee High tomorrow night. They're at Anderson County High School, and going back to Harriman, they have to travel to play South Green, and South Green is 35-3. So that will be tough for the Lady Blue Devils. In Region 2 AAA, it was Maryville over Oak Ridge. Swept that one 3-0, and they also went on to beat Hardin Valley 3-0 in that volleyball championship. So Maryville will host West Ridge at New School in the sectionals. As I mentioned, Anderson County hosts Tennessee High, and Harriman travels to South Green. But going back to soccer, I want to mention the head coach of Anderson County girls, Chris Curtin, Lady Mavs, having a great season. They will be at Kingston tomorrow night as well. So
better bring their A game, because it'll be rowdy, Sleepy.
Oh, yeah, AC had some rowdy fans last night at the Clinton game.
I can't believe they did that to your Dragons.
Well, I'm about used to it. I've been on the tail end of a lot of games with Anderson County, more so in, not as much in basketball. I think we own them in basketball.
There we go. We hang our hats on that.
Right, we're a basketball school. So anyway, we'll be right back. Talk some more football, and our phone lines are open, or anything you want to talk about. So we'll be right back. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. They offer mulch, topsoil, all types of gravel, sand, rock, crab orchard stone, riprap stone, and limestone gravel. Mulch & More does light excavation work. Do you need a driveway repaired? They can do it. Plus, Mulch & More can do your water and sewer lines, French drains, and more with Ditch Witch services. So whether you only need a half cubic yard up to 20 cubic yards, Mulch & More can help you. Give Gary a call today at 865-234-7060 at Mulch & More in Midtown.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Cash in your gold now to get the most money. With gold at all-time highs, TK Wheeler Jewelers in Oak Ridge is paying top dollar for your gold, silver, platinum, diamonds, and coins. And TK Wheeler Jewelers pays cash. Broken chains, mismatched earrings, bracelets, rings, old school rings, gold charms, old watches, and even coin collections. TK Wheeler Jewelers in Oak Ridge, where you get the most money now for your old gold. So cash in now at TK Wheeler Jewelers, 422 South Illinois Avenue in Oak Ridge.
At Roan Medical Center, we are committed to serving this community and providing the best possible care for our patients. We have 20 medical specialists on staff representing all areas of care in a clean and safe environment. You don't have to go out of town to receive excellence in outpatient services, so please don't delay. The care you deserve is right here, right now. For the moments of need, we are here for you.
Buff Subaru would like to announce the opening of our brand new, larger facility in Kingston. This new facility was designed to offer unmatched comfort and convenience for our customers. Our service department now offers full tire and alignment services, express oil changes, and a car wash included with each service. We're conveniently located at I-40 exit 356 in Kingston, an easy drive from anywhere in the greater Knoxville area. Earl Duff Subaru, Tennessee's only 10-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Award.
All remaining 2021 Ascent models have 0.9% financing available at Earl Duff Subaru in Kingston.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. And your family is our family. And down here, family takes care of family, giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.
Welcome back into the locker room chat. I'm joined tonight by Chase Clem here in the middle and Justin Gambrell on the end, the Rockwood connection, and you know all ins and outs of Roane County. And guys, what's the big news? What we was talking about Gruden there in the commercials. What shows?
Bad week to be Gruden.
Bad week.
Apparently, he didn't know how email worked.
No. Like, I thought there was a chance he survived kind of that first round. Second round did him in.
Second round, he went.
At that
guns blazing.
You're cutting the cord.
I mean,
that's the good news about working with John Webb is he doesn't know how to operate technology, so you don't have to worry about that with him.
No.
It's sort of disappointing though for Coach Gruden. I always liked him and still do, I guess, but it's just disappointing to hear about that. But
maybe they'll release all 650,000 emails and we can get some more scumbags out of the league.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay
I think
with
they
that.
just wanted him out. You reckon?
Yeah, I think they thought he was going to quit after.
Mark Davis made the call.
I think they were hoping that he would quit after the first email released, and he didn't. And they said, "Watch this," and just dumped him.
Right. But
so bad week. Stock down, John Gruden.
we got a big game on the hill Saturday night. Lane Kiffin coming back to Knoxville this time as a head coach.
I just wonder if they're going to paint the rock the way they did when he left to welcome him back in. It was very inappropriate.
Was it?
Oh yeah, you have to Google that. We can't show that on air, but it's good. It's his first sellout in like 4 years. Night game, you know. Checker kneeling. They ought to wear the black jerseys again, just for the heck of it.
Can't do it twice.
Oh, you can do anything.
Can't do it twice.
This is America.
I mean, you can. That doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Those jerseys are sweet.
They might even play third down for what? I don't know. That's just the rumors.
Just bring all the old heads back. Bring in
Peyton.
Pruitt.
If Peyton shows up, we're done.
Bring Pruitt and Dooley back. Have them on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
Bring Butch down.
Bring back Butch. What?
Yeah. Bring back Bruce.
Bring back Bruce.
Bruce Pearl on the sideline.
God. Layla.
It was just a barbecue.
Layla Kiffin.
Yeah, bring them all back. Monty.
If Lane Kiffin shows up, Sleepy, you need to go find your local bookie. No, if Peyton Manning shows up to the game,
it's over.
It's over because we don't win big games. We don't win big games anyway, but we tend to really not win them when Peyton's there.
We haven't won a big game in a while, I think, especially over a ranked opponent.
No, it's been a minute. But big win. Tennessee's won 2 SEC games in a row, which makes me think this could be a letdown for the Vols.
Missouri and South Carolina. Yeah, I'm still not sold on the Vols. If we can beat Ole Miss.
If Tennessee beats Ole Miss, the fans will be insufferable.
I'll
stay away from every UT fan out there.
It'll be so great.
Well, Lane Kiffin said he's not going to visit any of his old haunts.
He probably shouldn't.
Joey Freshwater.
I think he's got a bill at Lexus and Knoxville, though. They'd probably like to talk to him about that.
Thank you. Right. And
just saying.
He used to visit roosters over there quite a bit.
Yeah. Sleepy's seen him a time or two.
Had a few co-eds, I think.
Learned from Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer breathed a sigh of relief when the Gruden stuff broke.
100%.
Got the heat off him.
Yeah, heat off him. Let's check this next call.
Locker room chat. You're on the air. Well, you might know this guy, Chase.
Go ahead, caller.
I know you guys are talking about big news, this week in sports. Have we mentioned or should I say my
Atlanta Braves, or mine and playoff chases Atlanta Braves, and then wrapping up the Brewers series last night.
Hey, the
And
Braves are moving on, Sleepy.
Is that your team?
Oh, it's my brother calling.
Is that your brother's
Diehard
team?
Atlanta Braves fan, and he accuses me of only cheering for the Braves in October, which is false.
100% truthful.
Time to watch.
100% the truth.
It's the best time to watch the Braves. I don't have time. I have to suffer through Vol football, Vol basketball, Tennessee Titans. I don't have time to suffer through the Atlanta Braves losing. So once it hits October, I'm ready to chop, and we're going to chop all the way to at least Game 4 of the NLCS. We might make it to the World Series.
Caller, who you think's going to win, the Dodgers or the Giants? Who's going to win that Game 5?
Man, it's hard to pick against the Dodgers in a Game 5 with the roster they have.
Yeah, as a Braves fan, who do you want to play?
I want to beat the Dodgers, but I wouldn't be opposed to not having to play the Dodgers either.
I just like to know who Gambrell's rooting for in all this.
Yeah, Gambrell, who's the Reds guy
Giants
next week?
and the Rays, but the Rays got smoked. So
When do the Reds play?
it doesn't matter. They quit playing about mid-August.
I thought this was going to be the Reds year.
I thought it was too. Now they're going to all abandon ship.
And my Cardinals won 17 straight. Had the Dodgers on the ropes and
Let them off the hook.
let them off the hook.
Let them off the hook.
Hey, tell them who else is a noted Braves fan, big-time football coach.
None other than the Green Right 10 himself,
Rockwood head
Webb.
football coach John Webb. Huge Braves fan. Huge fan
He'll
of their
be
farm
either.
system.
He's a very happy man this week, which will probably bleed over into the Tigers' effort on Friday night.
You got a prediction for that game, caller?
Tigers by 21. Who are they playing? Doesn't matter.
Wartburg, don't matter.
Wartburg's coming off a win over Jellicoe.
They're going to be ready, Riley.
They got some
Jellicoe?
good-looking kids, is
Big-
what I heard
big
from John
region
Webb.
game.
Hey, Chase.
Hey,
Jellicoe, Tellicoe, don't matter, Co. Tigers by a lot Friday.
there you have it, folks. Thanks for calling us. Shout out to Roe.
Shout out to Roe, baby.
See you.
Rockwood's turned it around here the last 2-3 weeks. Haven't
They hit a couple bumps in the road.
Yeah, they started
They
out.
did.
Quarterback, has he been back? Has he not?
Well,
He has not been back.
he has not been back.
So,
But we do have a quarterback.
yes, Ficky's taken over. He's played really well for them. It just seems like there was a really tough stretch there for the team. Got to play some, easier games, kind of got the confidence back going, and now the home stretch, could have a potential home playoff game. That's huge for them.
Yeah. Rockwood's got some athletes. They got running backs, and that Hannibal kid, he's like Tyreek Hill.
Oh, he's quick.
He's going this way, that way, back, front, everywhere.
He's worth the price of admission.
Rockwood's got a lot of athletes on the field.
Yes. And Waldo, I love watching Waldo run. He kills people out there.
Dakota Waldo's north to south.
Another big running back. Last week I saw, what's his name? Starts with the M.
Dom Moran.
Yeah, Moran.
Dom
Big
is great.
kid. Yeah, he's a
And then the emergence of Brody Webb.
He's a battering ram.
First career touchdown.
Yeah,
this
Brody
year.
Webb, son of John Webb, scored his first touchdown last week, turned 16 this week.
Went to Top Golf is what I hear. So, big
Interesting.
weekend for Brody Webb.
Interesting.
So look at some games last week in week 8. We're down to 3 weeks left in the high school season, and it's getting down to the money time. And just looking back at last week, Central got a big win at South Dole. I missed that game last week. I know Walter did too. Central over South Dole, 35-23, and the Bobcats. Since that win, they've almost broke into back in the top 10, I believe. Also, Oakdale and Cosby last week was canceled. So,
COVID.
Yeah, Cosby had to cancel the COVID, so.
We know more about that, but we know more about that. Go ahead, Sleepy.
Can't share that.
Can't
Okay.
share it.
It was Powell over Campbell County, 40-7. Campbell County's running back, I don't think, played in that game. C.J. Allen had a concussion, suffered against Clinton. I think he sat out that game last week against Powell, but Jordan Potts of Powell had a big game, and he's over 2,000 yards passing for the Panthers. I think they're one of the top teams. I think they're the team to beat in 5A. They're really starting to play ball defensively as well. Got a lot of athletes, and Oak Ridge had to travel up to Greenville, and that didn't turn out well. The Green Devils, one of the top teams in all the state, I think. I think Sonny Moore Power Ratings has them ranked number 1. But
Oak Ridge kind of running out of time to get back on track, aren't they, Sleepy?
yeah, they're running out of time. They got the Carnes Beavers this week, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But you know, that's for number 2 in the region right there, and Oak Ridge has won 25 straight against Carnes.
Dang.
So I think they're 32-1 overall, but the Carnes got Deshaun Bishop. He's 2,300 yards rushing.
Yeah.
He's averaging about 300 yards a game.
Yeah, he's legit.
Like the number 1 in the nation, I believe. So,
Jeez.
yeah, this kid, he's been offered by Tennessee, just a junior. So he's the real deal. But Greenville wins over Oak Ridge 35-9. As we've been talking about, it's Wartburg 19-14 over Jellicoe as Peyton Hooks, 18 carries, 142 yards, and three touchdowns. So the Bulldogs getting their first win.
Bulldogs, they might have some momentum coming into Friday.
They could. They could.
Coach Webb, we talked to them the other night. They got a good group of kids.
That's what I hear about a lot of teams.
That's what we hear.
Cofield 49-0 over Greenback, and
you hate to see it.
That's a big rivalry there in Yellow Jackets. They didn't
hold back.
They didn't hold back. No. Cole Hines had another big game. The quarterback for Cofield, he had 23 carries, 114 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also had 89 yards passing. So
Greenback's probably going to have a lot of those coming any chance some of these smaller schools can get to stick it to them while they're down. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be negative, but that's just a fact.
Greenback's 2-4 now, so it's been a while since they've been under 500. Cofield goes to 6-2. Another game in the area was Anderson County, a hard-fought win over Gibbs last week, 19-6, and that wrapped up Anderson County's 5th straight region championship.
So they're secure. Okay.
They're secure. They're off this week. They go to Scott, the final game of the season. I think they got Bearden next week, or vice versa, but they still got to play Bearden and Scott. But they've locked up the region, as Gavin Noe had 18 carries, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns as well. So congratulations to Anderson County. The new region this year with South Doyle and Fulton, and they've had a really tough schedule. But they lost their quarterback, and he may be back. Martinez maybe in playoff time, who knows? But they got a freshman stepping in, Cody Miller. But mainly they just been handing it off to Gavin Noe.
That seems to work, though, doesn't it? Seems to be okay.
Coach Gillum, good coach. He takes his talent and adapts his system around that. So
got to go with what works. That seems to be what they're doing. Right, Gambrell?
That's right.
That's right.
last week in the BBB game of the week, OEB Law game of the week, Midway over Harriman 33-6, and it was second straight game Midway has hosted the game of the week. This week, or last week, they won over Harriman, so Midway's a team they got some talent.
They never count out. Who do we never count out? The Fighting Ron Treadway.
That is correct. With Coach Ostrowski.
With Coach O, friend of Another show. Another.
That's correct.
We can't talk about it on here. But Coach Ostrowski, Coach Treadway, O'Toole, White Wilson.
The Shannon Kaywood movement has begun.
Shannon Kaywood's got that thing rolling. New principal at Midway High School.
But the basketball coach,
Another story. Do they have a basketball coach right now?
I'm not sure.
we had a new coach last year.
New coach this year.
It's a new one again this year?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't aware of that. Oliver Springs Bobcats got their first win, defeating Sunbright 42-0.
Gambrell, give us a breakdown on that, you OS insider. Shout out to Coach
I do not
Kegley.
have the breakdown.
Good to see Coach Kegley, Coach Green,
Yeah, good for
and the Bobcats get a win.
Yeah, I have a lot of kinfolk on that team, so good for them.
Bobcats have been close this year. They had a couple weeks there they didn't play, I think, COVID, but they've been close in a lot of games. They've been real competitive, and they've got Oakdale this week, so
That could be a good game. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Oz in there, but
I'm taking the Eagles.
well, you can
it's a
take
big
them.
game.
Oakdale Eagles.
Oakdale's 5-1. It's a big region game. Chance for the Bobcats, if they can win that, they might could slip into the playoffs.
You never know.
Also, it was Clinton over Lenore City, 46-27. Dragons even in their record at 4-4. Take that out as Joshua Keith had maybe his best games statistically as the quarterback of the Dragons. He's 24 for 32, 366 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also ran 8 times for 50 yards and a touchdown. And Connor Moody scored a couple touchdowns as well, the senior captain, at 4 carries, 74 yards. And Reese King also scored 2 as the Dragons had their biggest scoring output, I guess, since the Austin East game.
Hey, I like that Clinton Dragon football coach. He seems
like
to
a
be
good
the
guy.
real deal. Seems like he's no nonsense. He's getting the job done.
Certainly is doing a good job at Clinton, and last year I think we won 1 game. This year they've won 4. One of those was a COVID win over Cherokee, which I think we'd have won anyway. But
quadrupled the wins.
Yeah.
Clinton still has a chance. They go to Gibbs next week. They're off this week, and hoping for the playoffs still be there. We need Oak Ridge to beat Carnes, and that Clinton Carnes game will be for the playoff spot.
Gaddis has got it. Just ask Queener.
Better have it. Is Queener going to take that bus? Did he take the bus last year to Murfreesboro?
Knowing Queener, he probably did. I'm sure he'll call in and tell us.
I don't think he did. He was always talked about going to the championship, but something happened. I don't think Gaddis would let him go. Didn't want to.
If he had any sense about him, he wouldn't.
Didn't want to spoil his mojo he had going. And the final game we had last week was Halls 35-14 over Carnes, and Bishop had 311 yards rushing. As we mentioned, he's 2,300 yards plus, and he's got 22 touchdowns. And
big year.
Carnes had 3 touchdowns called back in that game. So
penalties will kill you, Sleepy.
Right. That'll kill you. But right now we're going to look at some region standings. Chandler in the back's going to throw up some standings.
Shout out Chandler.
Chandler just had a birthday, so
happy birthday. Class 1A, Region 2.
Go ahead.
Coalfield looks to be in the driver's seat. Oakdale in second place. Oakdale had a run a few years ago where they were doing pretty solid, and they seem to be back on track overall, 5-1. Harriman in third place. Coach Tappan, the boys still fighting. Greenback, you hate to see them slipping to the bottom, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Midway and Oliver Springs both 1-2 in the region, and Sunbright struggles at 0-5 in the region. They've got 1 win on the year. Sleepy, I would say that most people would probably pick Coalfield. They probably got it locked up already, but they're hoping to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, last year they went to the state semifinals against South Pittsburgh, so I won't be surprised to see them get back there again.
Let's go ahead and jump over to the next one, and then we'll take this next call.
This is Class 2A, Region 2. Right now, Monterey leading the pack. They could emerge and pull away this Friday as they play Oneida. Rockwood down in third place. They have a chance to kind of solidify their standings if they can beat Wartburg, who's currently in fifth place. And then York, there'll be a big game at the end of the year. Rockwood and York play week 10. That's at Rockwood. So that could be a major game for Rockwood. If they win that one, they could secure a home playoff game in the first round.
All right, let's go ahead and jump to that next one.
We got Class 3A, Region 2, and Alcoa Tornadoes. No surprise there on top, undefeated, 6-1 overall. Lost to Marable. Pigeon Forge, undefeated as well. I think they play Alcoa this week. I'm not sure, but Gatlinburg Pittman 2-1. Austin East 2-1. Austin East went to South Pittsburgh last week, and that was a tough test.
South Pitt, they had the coach quit, right?
Yes, he's in the CFL now.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. We have Northview Academy 0-3 in Union County bringing up the rear. I think Union County is playing Alcoa this week. I saw something where they may be canceling that game.
They might get a little COVID.
Right, I think got a little COVID came up.
All right, let's skip over to Class 4A. Anderson County, like Sleepy said earlier, have already clinched the region title. A tie for second, South Dual and Knox Carter. They both are tied in the region and an overall record. Fulton, it's still crazy for me to see Fulton, which they're 4-3, but to see them struggle, it just doesn't look right because I'm used to seeing them up at the top, winning the regions and competing for state titles. And Gibbs and Scott round up the bottom of that. So, hey, Carter went down to Cofield a few weeks ago. I know y'all talked about it, but Cofield gave them everything they wanted. Probably should have won the game. But I know Knox Carter left. They probably didn't know where Cofield was on the way down there, but they knew who they were on the way back. You know what I'm saying? Gambrell, let's talk about Class 5A. Oh, how we skipped Kingston? My fault.
Where's Kingston?
How could we not go a second without talking about Gambrell's Kingston Yellow Jackets?
Shout out Jake Witter.
Shout out Jake Witter, the new baseball coach.
Region standings in Class 3A. Loudon, of course, in first place. They've been playing really well this year. Looks like it's going to come down to that Week 10 matchup between Loudon and Kingston to determine who wins the region. Kingston hosts Signal Mountain Friday night. Should be a good matchup there. They're in third.
Winner that, yeah, get that number 2 spot.
Yes, and then McMinn Central are 1-3, Chase's favorite team. And then you got Sweetwater and Brainerd near the bottom. Sweetwater's 0-2 in the region, but they're one of those teams that any given week I feel like can play with anybody in that region.
I think it's Kingston and Signal Mountain's first time they've ever played each other. So.
It's going to be a good game Friday. Signal Mountain's good, and Kingston's, they're working with the momentum. They're going to try to keep that train rolling. I know Coach Pankey's had the players under the lights this week because Rome County's on fall break. So Coach Pankey got a little something up his sleeve for the Signal Mountaineers.
He may.
I don't know if that's what they're called, but
so where Coach Pankey's getting Rylan Gettner back. He's been out 5 weeks.
Gettner is a good player, a good football player.
So he's their home run hitter, and Coach Pankey would be glad to get him back.
Sleepy, tell us about 5A.
5A, Knoxville West, 3-0 on top. They are ranked number 1, actually, in the state of Tennessee in 5A. And Central right there, undefeated as well. Those two teams will meet coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Sevier County, 1-2, got a big win over Halls week 4 last. And as you see, Halls there currently at number 4. Cott County, 1-2 as well. And Heritage on the bottom at 0-3, so it looks like West Central, Spear County, and Halls will be the top 4 teams in that region.
And then last but not least, Class 6A.
And we got the 5A, got my Dragons region.
God, I'm struggling tonight.
Those regions are getting you.
It's all these new regions they got this year.
once Rockwood's off the board, it just kind of is all a blur. Class 5A, Powell, with a substantial lead in the regions, overall 7-1 record. Campbell County, who had a big win against Kingston a couple weeks ago, sitting at second with 2-2 in the region.
Did that surprise you, that score?
The score surprised me. I knew it was going to be a close game. I think it was something where once the game got started, bam, 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 you look up, the score's 21-0, and very, very little time's gone off the clock. But, Campbell County, they're real deal.
Yeah, they can score.
Cards and Oak Ridge, 2-1. Sleepy, you talked about them. Big game Friday night. I hear the winners getting Big Ed's pizza. That's just what I heard on the street before I came in. Clinton sitting at 1-3, and Lenoir City 0-3 at the bottom.
Clinton there is hoping Oak Ridge can beat Carnes and give them life. And you mentioned talking about Coach Keith, and go back to him. I love Coach Keith, and I'm glad he's at Clinton, and hope he stays there.
Long time.
Long time.
Now we can wrap it up with 6A, Sleepy. Tell them about it.
Well, Maryville and Bradley Central, two of the top teams in Class 6A. Maryville currently number 2, Bradley Central number 5. In Bradley Central, both teams undefeated. Bradley Central's at Farragut this week, but Cleveland 1-2, Farragut 1-2, Bearden 1-2, and we'll pick these games coming up here shortly. Cleveland's at Bearden, and Bradley Central's at Farragut. So there's 5 teams right there in the running. Hardin Valley 0-3, 0-7 overall, yet to win. They're having a down year there in Hardin Valley, but that's pretty strong region right there.
And that does it for all the class region standings and overall standings. Sleep, let's talk about the Vols just for a few more minutes, and we'll go into our pick'ems. What have you thought about the season so far? Are you a believer in Heupel? Do you believe the hype? I'm not buying that shirt. I bought too many of these coaching T-shirts only to throw them away after 3 years.
I haven't seen that.
Well, don't even buy it.
Get hype.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm not buying it, Sleepy. I don't know.
Right.
But if you were at the game, were you at the game last week?
Yes, sir.
What they did for Al Wilson was incredible. Al Wilson could not play football in today's game. They showed highlight reels about every TV timeout. Every hit was targeting, late hit on the quarterback, late hit out of bounds. The man was just ruthless. And the way the band did their presentation on the field with his number and jersey and Hall of Fame, it was just a good week to be there. It was a good win. Hoping to see a sellout crowd. I know the game's sold out for Saturday, but I hope to see the stadium filled up. It's not been filled up all year. It's kind of depressing. You look up in that top half of the bowl, and it's empty. But a lot of people everywhere just choose to stay home and watch the game now. It's a lot easier. You're missing a whole day's worth of football. Gambrell probably watches 10 times the amount of football as I do because you got to leave, you got to eat, you got to park, you got to watch the game. You got to come home, you got to eat, and you missed everything. But Gambrell keeps me up to date.
It's a full day. Was you there last week?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday?
Y6.
But your
Y6.
Your wife lets you go, or she goes?
Oh, she goes.
Sure.
She goes most of the time.
Your new bride, I should say.
Hey, and Gambrell would go, but
I'm not a UT fan.
He's got to watch
I'm
the
a Bearcats. I got to watch the
Bearcats.
Bearcats play.
So
they beat Notre Dame. I like that.
Sorry, Brian Matthews.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Matthews, the
Took
only
him
Notre
down.
Dame fan who listens, but we love him anyway.
That's right.
Vegas has got this game really close, Sleepy. Do you think the Vols can pull it out?
I think we can. I don't know, though. It's Ole Miss can put up some points. I know Tennessee can as well. I actually wrote down some stats for the Vols. They lead the SEC in 6 different categories. Rushing touchdowns, 18. Total offense in SEC, 526 yards.
What?
First downs, 154.
What?
Tackles for loss, 52.
What?
Turnover margin, they're +5.
We're rolling
in the SEC, and they have 11 30-plus yard plays to lead the SEC. So,
well, we're not overthrowing those receivers now that we've got Hendon Hooker in the game.
that's true, yeah.
Just saying. Heupel's getting people open, Gambrell.
Well, there's one stat that Sleepy did not read, and that's
What's that, Mr. Negative?
Who leads the SEC in heartbreaking losses, and that's the Tennessee Vols.
Yeah!
That's the who?
The Tennessee Vols.
Heartbreaking losses.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a scumbag.
The Ole Miss puts the smack down on them Saturday.
Jeez.
Wayne Train rolls back in, rolls out of town just as quick.
Rolls out in a shiny dented Lexus.
That's right.
I'm just, you know,
Choose joy.
Missouri and South Carolina, then, you know,
They stink.
right. And but we put them away. But you know, the competition's going up this week with Ole Miss taking a step up, and you know, I'm real impressed with Ole Miss's offense. Their defense not as much. But
Well, they don't play
it's
defense.
It's going to be like that Ole Miss Arkansas game last week.
I think when it came out, the over-under was like 89 points.
Yeah, it was up there.
It was up there. Hey, we beat Ole Miss.
It'll be in the 40s.
Old Saban might want to, you know, start looking over his shoulder.
My God.
You know what I'm saying?
That's going to be a 7 o'clock game.
Not game.
Next week.
All right, Sleep, we got 8 minutes. You want to go over some high school football?
Well, we're going to go ahead and take another break.
Let's take our last break.
Take our last break. We'll be right back. Let's talk a little high school football. Pick some games coming up this week. So you're watching Locker Room Chat. Stick around.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. And your family is our family. And down here, family takes care of family. Giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.
At Roan Medical Center, we are committed to serving this community and providing the best possible care for our patients. We have 20 medical specialists on staff representing all areas of care in a clean and safe environment. You don't have to go out of town to receive excellence in outpatient services, so please don't delay. The care you deserve is right here, right now. For the moments of need, we are here for you.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat, and right now we're going to pick some games coming up here for Week 9, and
let's do this, Sleepy.
Go ahead and Chase.
Right here?
Go ahead and call out that first game, and it's a Rivalry Thursday game, and I'm going to pull up Walter's picks. He sent them to me.
All right, Gambrell, you're going to start us off Week 9, Rivalry Thursday. Oak Ridge, Carnes. Who you got?
Gaddis's gang rolls. Give me the Wildcats big.
I don't trust anything Gambrell says, so I'm taking Carnes.
I'm going to take the Wildcats at Carnes. Carnes only has one win over Oak Ridge in the history of the program. And Oak Ridge's defense, I think, can slow down Bishop enough for the Wildcats to get the win.
And
Walters took Oak Ridge as well. Of course, I've got a 6-game lead on Walters.
Well, he's way gone.
Throwing that in.
All right, 2-4 Greenback. The pipeline has dried up. Everybody's staying at Maryville. Everybody's staying at Alcoa and wherever else they've been plucking players from. Anyway, verse 4-4 Harriman. Gambrell.
Greenback wins.
You disgust me. Harriman Blue Devils.
I'm going to take Greenback as well. Harriman's sort of been up and down. Got some talent, though, but Walter's going to go with Harriman, so I'll give him a chance to.
Good job, Walter. All right, Gambrell. Your alma mater, Oliver Springs Bobcats versus the Fighting Goose Lindsays, the Oakdale Eagles, 5-1 versus 1-4.
Give me the Eagles.
Again, I'm taking the Bobcats. This is the Fade Gambrell segment. I'm taking the Bobcats and Coach Kegley because I'm loyal.
Give me Coach J.R. Voles and the Oakdale Eagles to go to 6-1, and Walter Stair, he'll also take Oakdale.
All right, moving on. 4-2, Midway Green Waves versus the Sunbright Tigers. Gambrell, start us off.
Midway big.
Midway.
Right, Midway and Emmett Hagelin and Caleb Goodman, Seth Gordon.
They're going to roll.
Midway.
All right.
Walter takes Midway as well.
Good. That's the lock of the week. You know what that means. All right. Rockwood 3-3 versus Wartburg 1-5.
Rockwood.
I got Rockwood too.
I'll go with your
Yeah,
Rockwood
you better,
Tigers.
Sleepy. You better. We're outnumbering you tonight. All right. Signal Mountain 5-2. This is the BBB OEB GOW game of the week. Gambrell, I know you'll be tuning in from your phone while you tweet from Wartburg if you can get the service. Signal Mountain rolls into Dr. Nat Sugarman Stadium. What? 5-2 record. Taking on the number 8th ranked team in the state, the Kingston Yellow Jackets. Gambrell.
As much as it hurts me to do it, give me Kingston.
Right, Kingston too strong. They destroyed McMinn Central, and Signal Mountain just struggled. So I'll go with Kingston.
Give me Kingston
And
too.
Walter wants Kingston as well.
All right, we got Monterey versus Oneida. Gambrell.
Monterey.
I got Monterey. I hope they win.
I'm going to go with Monterey as well. Oneida 5-2, but Rockwood put it on them, and Monterey put it on Rockwood. I know Rockwood's going through some problems there, but I think Monterey travels to Oneida and gets the win, as Walter will take Oneida Indians.
All right, Jefferson County versus Science Hill. Gambrell, who you got?
Science Hill for me.
I got Jefferson County in honor of Brian Matthews.
And Jefferson County, if they win this game, will be their first region championship since 1994. So Spencer Riley has got the Patriots playing some ball, but I'm going to go with the Science Hill Hero Toppers at home. And Walter will take Jefferson County.
All right, we got 1 minute, Gambrell. Bradley Central versus Farragut.
Bradley Central.
Bradley Central.
I'm going with Farragut. I'm going to upset there in West Knoxville.
All right, what about our boy? What's he got?
Walter likes Bradley Central.
All right, and the last pick of high school football, Cleveland, Bearden.
Give me Cleveland.
I got Cleveland.
This game here, the loser of this one might not make the playoffs, and I'm going to go with another upset. I'm like them West Knoxville boys. You like the Bearden Bulldogs, and Walter likes Cleveland.
All right, I think we're all picking Tennessee, especially Gambrell. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight to the Locker Room Chat. Sleepy, thanks for having me and Gambrell. We got to do it again. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for those who called. Go Vols, and be careful what you email will get you fired.
Stay off the lane.